Will the disgraced former intelligence heads, John Brennan and James Clapper, go to jail? Well, we're going to look into that plus a lot more as they are being investigated. And right now, the FBI and CIA are literally disputing each other. Who would have thought these institutions not have the same opinion on one thing, throwing around the proverbial hot potato of responsibility to this whole Russian collusion nonsense that this country has been put through the last 2 to 3 years. And Jason, there's a wider investigation happening here. There could be actual possibility. I kind of disagree with that, since of course the Attorney General Barr was friends with a lot of these individuals, but there's that serious kind of talk happening right now because consequences were very serious of these individuals' actions, right, Jason?
Well, look, man, we know they lied, and we know the intelligence community must have been wrong about Russia, just like they were wrong about WMDs. And how many times did they double, triple, and quadruple down? Listen, I'm not a big fan of this administration. I think there are huge problems with it. But when you look at the Russiagate stuff and just the Mueller report in general, when they say, hey, the Seth Rich thing's not true, it's a conspiracy theory. We never really interviewed Assange, but he's a liar. I mean, basically did that in 3 paragraphs. Never wanted to talk to Kim.com. Never wanted to get to the bottom of where these DNC leaks actually came from. And what did they do? Well, they manufactured a dossier. And now we're going to have a look at these emails and a lot more, maybe some text messages, because John Durham is the person that has now been appointed to investigate this thing. And, Trump's come out and said, I didn't know they were doing it. Come on. That's more smelly bullshit. But at the same time, I don't think it's bad that this is happening. I would love to see a John Brenner, a James Comey, or a James Clapper go to prison. That'd be the coup de grace.
Yeah, we have a family-friendly show. I'm happy you're adhering to that, Jason. But again, all of this came from the Steele dossier, which again, was a supposed collection of 17 intelligence reports that were compiled by former MI6 operative and Russian specialist Christopher Steele in 2016. Steele, of course, was hired by Fusion GPS, which was a private political research firm based in Washington, D.C., which was hired by the DNC and Hillary Clinton to look into Russia. And they had insane claims and assertions in this Steele dossier about how Donald Trump literally went to the same hotel that Barack Obama stayed in Russia, in Moscow, and had Russian prostitutes tinkle, piss all over him to get back at Obama somehow. And I remember looking at this and I'm like, what? Hillary Clinton, all the mainstream media, and they're like, 17 intelligence reports, 17 intelligence reports, 17 intelligence reports, time and time again, just trying to nail it in your head. The intelligence community would never lie to you. Of course, we were calling it out. We were actually attacked. On Wikipedia, there's moderators and associates of Wikipedia who are saying we're fake news because we were calling this out from the very beginning. We didn't believe in this Russian collusion because it was nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And now this is, of course, Donald Trump was able to get the warrants. We have to understand what they're looking into here is criminal behavior in the investigation of Donald Trump, because the warrants that they got were very wide-ranging warrants that allowed them to do whatever they wanted to, including spying. Now there's going to be an investigation to see if there's any illegal activities, any espionage in those particular activities. And I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because, again, everything here was based off an entire lie. The intelligence agencies were lying. They should have came out and should have been saying on the record, hey, the mainstream media is going crazy, even though the intelligence agencies give a lot of the talking points of the mainstream media. That's a big other factor here that people need to remember here. And they should have had some responsibility. They had none, Jason. Absolutely none. And now they're playing hot potato, saying, oh, no. It was the CIA that pushed the Steele dossier. No, it was the FBI who pushed the Steele dossier. Regardless, both of them should be held in contempt for dividing this country and bringing us into this insane discourse that still some crackhead individuals at MSNBC are scratching at the bits to still keep when all of us know it's based off bullcrap here, Jason. What do you think of this kind of proverbial hot potato going back and forth right now between these intelligence agencies? And do you think they would be doing it if there wasn't any legal repercussion?
Well, I think that everybody's going to try to avoid prison time because this president's not going to pardon them. And let's say he wins in 2020, right? They're going to do some years. You know, they can't. They might be able to get pardoned by the next administration coming in, but I can't see Trump pardoning a Comey, a Brennan, or a Clapper. Now, Trey Gowdy, who was one of the main proponents asking real questions during the Inspector General report in the run up to it, and also talking to Strzok and Page and really investigating, okay? He says, look at the emails. He's seeing the emails. And in December 2016, he is alluding to a Brennan and Comey conversation that's going to be extremely important. Now, in response to this, Brennan has basically put out the word that he and Clapper were the ones that opposed the use of the Steele dossier to James Comey. So, again, they're really going to try to play as much politics here as they possibly can, but we don't know what's in those text messages. We don't know what's in those emails. We do know that these are hardcore liars and gangsters in the intelligence game that have been war hawks for years and years and years. And it is their job to subvert the American public so that the military-industrial complex can have their way. So they are not to be trusted.
Yeah, this is an important lesson for everyone moving forward. When an intelligence agency source or an intelligence agency comes out and says something, always view it with a crooked eye. And crook your head back and be like, well, I don't believe you because you have no iota of being responsible with power. And that's exactly what this entire situation, this entire scenario proved. I mean, look at this. If we really had intelligence agencies that were here to protect and serve this country and the best interests of this country, it would have came to the individuals that they were investigating and said, hey, Russia wants to interfere. Let's work together to figure out how. Let's try to prevent this. Let's try to work together for the best interest of this country. And of course, individuals would be like, yeah, okay, they're trying to supposedly subvert our governing institutions. Let's work together and fix it. That would have been the proper approach here. That's not what they did. You know, they proved themselves hungry for power, playing politics and creating a huge disservice while they had idiots on the mainstream media cheering them on, celebrating them with other just bootlicking. I don't even have a name for these individuals in the streets praising. Like there was protests praising these intelligence agencies. I mean, for freak's sakes, look at the history that these, quote, intelligence agencies have. COINTELPROBE, Iran-Contra. Look at the FBI and CIA. How many controversies are they involved in? How many times have they been caught acting above the law against the interest of the American people, working for, of course, special interests? Good golly gracious, family-friendly show. Anytime you hear anything from the intelligence agencies, always keep an eye on it. Will this investigation do anything? I mean, we're finding out right now it was very politically focused against Donald Trump and his administration. They looked at him thoroughly. They had a fine-tooth comb going over everything. They got some of his individuals for perjury and for tax evasion and basic run-of-the-mill White House corruption. There's no denying it. We're not even Trump supporters, but this is the facts here. This is the truth. Will the bar go after them as hard as they went after Trump? I kind of doubt that, Jason, because Barr has a long history with some of these individuals that he's investigating, and I doubt that they would go as strong as they did because they went overboard, and I just don't see it, in my personal opinion. What do you think?
You know, these guys are able to slither out of a lot of tricky situations. I do want to point out a month and a half ago, Rand Paul, who usually gives great information when in regards to this stuff, said that he has a source that says John Brennan absolutely pushed the discredited Steele dossier. And again, with Bruce Orr, Fusion GPS, the DNC, the Hillary campaign, John Brennan being a proponent of that campaign, you have to look at these people. You know, just their outward posture, just what we know from the public arena, and just the fact that it seems like they not only were protected, but they promoted the idea that the entire intelligence community agreed. And they brought us the new Russia hysteria, that Russia controls our election. Russia controls this administration. Be afraid of Russia again. And guys, it's really set us back as a society. We have real things to concentrate on. You know what's not in the news? Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, the Sudan. I could continue. And it's very upsetting to me because our energy should be focused on finding resolutions there than, you know, some kind of a fake propaganda affair against a sitting president that tried to unseat him, Luke.
Yep, I definitely agree. Other than that, I mean, what do you guys think? Where do you think the lines are going to be drawn here? Do you think there's going to be actual legal repercussions? Will any of these individuals go to jail? Let us know in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more here on We Are Change.org, an independent media outlet that's supported and financed by you, the viewer, on wearechange.org/donate. And we want to thank everyone donating and keeping independent media alive. Stay tuned for more.